Welcome, welcome. Miss Sarah was here, just there she is. Welcome to Communication and Connections. And my guest today is Sarah Lyle. We know each other from what we call Tuesday night class. And the reason why you were on Tuesday night class is because you were once at Everything Just Rocks and Tina's Monday night class. Is that correct? Is that how you spelled it? Oh, you can't hear me? Can everybody hear me? Can anyone hear me? I can hear me on online, so I'm not sure. And Sarah can't hear. You could hear me earlier, fine, correct?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, should I go out and come back in because I can't hear anything.
Okay,
Okay, I'll be right back.
okay. She'll be right back. Hi, Liz. Welcome in. So, Sarah and I will be doing readings in a little while. I'm going to interview her and got to didn't realize I was not doing well. Let's hopefully she can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Yes? No, I haven't pulled her on yet.
Yes,
You can hear me now.
I can hear you. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
That's okay. It works. And we have people coming in. Okay, you guys can hear me. I could hear me on my, and Kevin is in. Great. Welcome in, guys. We missed you last night, Kevin. We had some new people in, so it was always nice when we get new people. And Lewis came back. He's he's been here a couple weeks, but it's been about a year since he was here on a regular basis. So, Miss Sarah,
Yes,
we met you through Tina's class
yes.
on Monday night at Everything Just Rocks. That's how you connected with all of us. But you were there before I had started going.
Yeah, I
So,
started in 2019 in her classes. I might have done a couple in 18, but yeah,
oh, okay. So that's how you got to know everybody.
right,
And you ended up on the psychic squad because of the connections with Dawn and all.
right.
So, what have you been doing prior to on 2019?
So I lived in Nebraska, and for anybody that hasn't been there, it's very conservative. People are friendly. I mean, they'll wave to you if they say, you have eye contact or you're going down the road, but very conservative. And so I thought that I might be a psychic medium, and I actually, on my own, without telling people, was doing readings online and things like that, just to see, how it went. But there were no classes, there was no direction or guidance. And so until I moved up to Arizona, I felt very called to come to Arizona. Um, I really was kind of like a closet intuitive. So nobody knew. In Nebraska, I often would say when I came up here, if you were full-fledged doing what I do now, they'd probably put you on the psych ward, so that's the unfortunate part. I think maybe now it's evolved a little more as far as people's minds about it. But and so what I was doing there was just predominantly my artwork. I was always in customer service, working with people. um, Actually, I think before I moved up here, I was selling cars and I was
Oh,
working in the
really?
shop as a service writer, yeah, at a car dealership. But my mother passed away and my dad had passed away in 2014. And so when my mom passed and my kids were out of the house, I thought, what am I sitting here in this house by myself? And I just kept feeling called to come to Arizona. And so my family thought I was nuts. I literally took what I could pack in my work van and drove up here without a job, without anything, and said, okay, I'll live in my van if I have to. but I'm going to come up here. And if it all works out, I'm coming. And the first thing I did was get on Meetup and went to Tina's class. She had the red light night. I had no idea what that was. And something pushed me and said, get up to the front of and sit in the front. I don't know why I did. I didn't know a soul there. And then I heard this voice tell me, get in the box when she asked who wants to go next. And she described to me the experience afterwards. I was kind of caught up in what is this, what's going on, but I immediately channeled one of my guides. And it was a Native American guide that I had. And literally, apparently, there was this whoosh that went through the room. One of the other people started speaking in a native tongue back and forth to me. And then basically, my guide said to the group, I brought her up here. Now show her who she is and who she needs to go to learn about who she is.
Oh, wow.
And it pointed out one particular person, Carrie Houston, and she was sitting in the back and basically gave her info to know that we had one of the same guides. And she kind of took me under her wing and along with Tina, and kind of helped me understand initially, what my gifts were and whatever. And I had no idea. Like I had no idea that I was a channeler. None of that, Had a lot of weird experiences growing up, but I didn't know I didn't know I was a channeler. And apparently now when I look back, when I was little and I was doodling instead of doing my homework or practicing my instrument, I was doodling. And I remember when I would draw on my own, it would always be something weird that would come through, which probably were, these channeled messages. And so I started drawing, copying what I could see instead of my own original stuff. When I moved here and started doing channeled artwork, I realized it was those messages that were coming through, even as a child.
Okay. And is this a point where I should show some of that? Or do you have any of your original artwork at your house?
I don't have anything as a child that I have access to. I think it's in the garage and in a box somewhere. I need to find. That's a very good question. What I do remember is being able to draw things very accurately as a little child. Like I was in second grade and won the art contest because my witch was very realistic that I drew instead of the kids drawing. You know how kids, it's the arms and the head and the body are all connected. Like there's, sticks. And mine had the features, the nose, the fingernails, like everything.
Wow.
And it was usually something that we considered mystical or unreal that I was drawing. But and I don't have them with me. I think there was one that I sent you where it looks like scribbles. Those are the beginning of my channel drawings. They started out scribbles because Spirit had me close my eyes and draw so that I gave up control, of what it looked like. And actually, Tina was the first one to tell me about spirit art. I said, what can I do that's unique? I was trained for Reiki all the way to the master's level. I knew I was a psychic medium. I knew that I didn't have to use tarot cards or anything to get these messages, but I wanted to know how could I do something different because everybody that I knew in Arizona, because I only knew the people from class, were doing it, and I wanted to be able to sustain it as a job. And she said, what about spirit art? And I'm like, what is that? Well, there's two kinds. There's one where you channel it like you're doing automatic writing, how you automatic write, where you put your pen down and you just let it go. Automatic art is the same way. You're letting your hand go, you put a topic and then you just let it go. The second kind is precipitated art. And I think Tina talked about that in class. And I don't know if she continued to talk about it when you were there, but that's when spirit literally manifests out of the paint an artwork.
Oh, wow.
And I have one example of where that's happened to me. This was in my paint. Do you see that face? It's like half a face.
Yes.
Okay. And this is somebody that came through when I was doing artwork for somebody. This was on a plate that I had my paints mixed on. And the next day when I came, that face manifested. And the reason that half of it is like that is because it was a burn victim. It was a spirit that came through. Um, a client had come to me and say, who is the spirit in this house that I live in? I feel them. They're moving things around. I want to know what's going on. And this manifested in my paint the next day as I was working on their artwork to see who it was. And it was actually a gentleman that had died in the house in a house fire in that house that had been rebuilt. And that's why his face looked like that, because it was, so um, they can do that. They can precipitate the art. And there's actually the Bang sisters were very big in that years ago. You can look them up, the Bang sisters, BANG. But there's a place upstate that actually has paintings where when you go and look at it, it'll be different each time you look at it. There might be less roses in it this time or this time. And when they went to analyze what the paint was made out of, the closest thing was a butterfly, the dust on a butterfly's wing.
That is, yeah.
And it's literally was just supplies. They put the paint and the canvas and the brushes in the closet, and the next day it was painted. The spirit literally can do that. So, when they manifest in a piece of bread, you see like a picture of Jesus or something, they manifest on something you've done, a stain on your shirt, that is actually spirit coming through in precipitated art.
Wow. That is,
Yeah.
oops. Oh, I must have this already and I didn't see it. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was looking for the ones to upload here. And supposedly I have the one I'm looking for, but
Should be
the
two
one
I
with
sent you.
scribbles.
They showed up that looked like scribbles. One's a woman, and then the other one, I remember if it was a man but those were the first ones, one of the first ones. But I remember Tina telling me, close your eyes and just let your hand go. And we're going to ask for a certain person to come through. We started with her mom, and then this second one was her uncle. And all she did was say my uncle. And the first time she just said my mother. And they had both passed. And I'd never seen a picture of them, never heard a description of what they looked like. And I did the scribble. And when I opened my eyes in the scribble, it looked like that person, like a caricature, but it was that person. And her mother's, I remember coloring in with color. She said, now take the colored pencils and use them. Like, what do you hear? What color to use and whatever. So at the beginning, I was doing it with my eyes closed and grabbing different ones and then closing my eyes. And then when the lead would break, that's how they would tell me to stop that color. I have learned to listen. And so they don't break them anymore. But that was the way it worked in the beginning. Now I have worked with my guides long enough that I know when to stop. I know where to look. They'll show me as the paint dries where things come through. The last one I did, and I guess I've mailed that one off, but it literally precipitated through the painting, the watercolor. And so then I filled them in and, defined them, the guides. So yeah.
I had this one.
Yes, so that was one of the beginning ones. And look at his hands. Like I did that with my eyes closed. That was spirit. That wasn't me. That was spirit doing that. And that was one of the guides. But if you look up close at his hands, and I am not good at drawing hands and feet, but his hands are like,
You're very good.
very
with nails and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the guides. And then if you look in the background, if you meditate with this, you'll see symbols and numbers. It's layers and layers of encoded messages on top of each other. Even when I paint, they end up being layers and layers. So if I literally photograph it in transition, you'll see numbers, you'll see geometric signs. So that's why the artwork is more than artwork. It is literally an encoded, channeled message from your guides that will give you like downloads and help you through your spiritual process. The vibe of it, all of that. They used to have me take those little leads that were breaking and put them in little bottles and give them to the client because it held their vibration because I was channeling them.
Oh, wow.
And then when I started doing it, I had like 3 clients that I did that with, those little mini glass bottles you can get. They would wear it as a necklace, and then Spirit stopped doing it. So there were like 4 people that have those. But
Oh, those would
yeah,
be.
it was cool. It was
Yeah.
cool. But I had so many I threw away because I didn't know that. They didn't tell me to do that till like, further in the process. But I still have mine. And when I wear it, I feel the vibration. So they're literally, that artwork is, and I've had people tell me when they look at their artwork, it morphs into something else.
Yeah.
Because it's not mine. I am just I am channeling that. And I believe, when you read a book like Harry Potter or something that is really like you feel it when you're
Yes.
reading it or hearing the music, that's channeled. That's
Yeah.
the difference between channeled and just, using artistic ability.
Yeah. And then, wow, hands and feet are the hardest parts to get right when drawing. Even AI has trouble with that. And
They
that's from
are.
Harley. Yeah, that's from
If you
Harley.
see my regular art, my hands and the feet are just, they're usually hidden. They're in the portal. And hands and feet, yeah. And then to do it with your eyes closed. But the reason
Yeah.
they had me do that is because I am a perfectionist. And if you see the art that I do that's not channeled, it will have every grain of salt. It's too much going on because it is very perfectionistic. Oh, I forgot this. I've got to add this. I've got to add that. And it has no flow to it because it's just I get too into it. And so Spirit needed me to close my eyes so I would let go and allow them to channel through me.
And I'm going to pull that up one more time because I saw a barn and a silo, and a couple other things. I don't know if my cursor will show above that. I really doubt it. But uh, in which one is the silo? Hold on. Okay. Right at the end of the hand, kind of a green color. It's like
I
a
see what you're
barn
saying. Yeah.
and a silo
On
next.
the side, like a side this going this
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're going
Exactly.
to see so much in there. And actually, you'll probably see more in this than when I created it. Why? Because the person that I did that for has passed.
Oh,
So they're going to bring their messages through it too. That's how deep it channeled stuff is. Like it's connection, but you're going to see stuff like you're going to see all kinds of stuff. And that's why.
okay.
It's not your imagination. It's literally there. Probably a clue to something that would have been helpful to that person at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, again, this is Sarah Lyle, and she's a psychic medium, but a Reiki healer. But among most of what we're looking at today is her spiritual art. And I added one other thing to your um, labels is cosmically connected. And the reason why I added that, because no one would be able to do artwork like this without having connections to the cosmos. Because, yeah, your guides have given you so much. And you had told me earlier that you get messages for yourself while you're channeling messages for others as well.
I do. And anybody that's channeling, when you're getting those divine messages, your guides it's usually probably something you need to hear too. And so that's kind of like the gift of giving you back. So like you're helping somebody, but it's also helping you too. So pay attention when you give a message to somebody, it's probably something you need to hear too. But what's really cool is when I started doing these artworks, at first it was just whatever comes through because I didn't understand. Actually, when I first started, they had me, I was in a shop, I was at Everything Just Rocks, and I was sitting on the couch and I was doing artwork, and then I had to find who that went to. And one of the ones I did, and I think I sent it to you, where it's a woman with a headdress. It's all in black pencil. Like I don't think it's a black and white drawing,
Okay.
but it was a spirit guide, and it was Angie's, and I actually had and she came in the shop, and I found her.
Wow.
It was one of her ancestors.
Oh, got it. Got it. I didn't add that in, but I will do that now.
And so I found it recently in my pictures that I had, and I asked her and I confirmed with her, was that you? And she's like, yeah, that was me. Um, so they had me do these drawings, and then I had to find the people in the shop who they went to. And 3 out of 4 times I found the person. Um, and so that's how it started. Then I realized I could ask questions. And then I realized that there really was no question I couldn't ask. There's just some I stay away from. And then I started getting introduced to star seeds, and I started doing their guides. And that about knocked me on my rear end. I was driving one day and about passed out, thought I had an inner ear something going on, tinnitus or something, did all the tests, nothing. What I found out is galactic guides are so strong when you're channeling them that they will literally knock you on your butt if you aren't aligned with their energy. And some of them never had a human experience, so they don't know how strong they're coming through. And they were so excited to come through that literally I would almost pass out. I would have to take it in doses, draw a little bit here and there. So as I've done these different guide drawings for people, um, I have learned about these beings. And then the benefit of is they help me understand how I am one of those beings. And then just the lineage of how it went back in my history. So I finally, through past life regression and doing these guide drawings and doing people's past lives and things like that that come through, um, I have learned that, okay, so my mother tried to have children for 8 years and she kept having miscarriages.
Ooh.
She gave up and filed for adoption, and she was waiting that day to have pick the child up, and found out she was going to have me. So she canceled on the child and went ahead and had me. And I was her first live birth after 8 miscarriages. And what
Wow.
I found out was I remember there was somebody that would come to me at night as a child, and as the only girl, I was in a room by myself. I remember being scared all the time of the dark, and then putting my hands like this under covers and sleeping in, with my legs crossed and like this, and um, scared of my closet. Well, I now realize that was a portal in my closet, and there was one under your bed, which sometimes as a intuitive child, you don't know you're opening portals and doing it. Okay, so this is my protection. Even to this day, if I don't want spirit to touch me, I put a blanket over my head and I'm not touched. But so there was one night I remember my dad would always come in and visit and make sure we were asleep. Or if we weren't, he'd rub our back, make sure go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, and then whatever. This night, somebody came in my room, but the guy was bald. He was like the size of my dad. And I was squinting, pretending I was asleep, right? And they sat at the end of my bed and watched for a while and then touched my shoulder. I remember feeling like electricity. And then when I opened my eyes, they were gone. Well, now I know that that was my Syrian parent that had brought me in a pod here as kind of like my mom's, chance to have a child. And then after I had that, she had me, she proceeded to have 3 other children.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
something.
So I now know why she was so overprotective of me. I was like her golden child. I was like, she finally had a child, So, um, yeah, so that was the beginning of my lineage, was Syrian B. And so I
Yeah.
didn't know that at the time, but I link it back and spirit showed me in my mind, okay, do you remember that memory? Do you remember this? Do you remember that? So there were beings visiting me and I was just scared. I didn't know what was going on.
I want to put this up. This is what you said you did for
Yes.
Angie, correct? That's
Yeah.
Angie's.
And that was all with my eyes closed and a scribble that came through. And that is an ancestor of hers that's guiding her. We have multiple guides from different dimensions, from different walks of life. We have guides. What I found throughout the years, because I've been doing this now for 7 years, is that it's more complicated than we think when we think about guides. So you have ones that represent different groups. So maybe like your ancestors from this life and past lives. You have, if you're a star seed, you have galactic beings from different races that you've been. You may have angelic beings. You may have parts of your higher self from different lifetimes guiding you because those gifts are needed in this lifetime. Elemental beings, because maybe you were an elemental being at one time, so you might have elemental beings, which elemental includes all the things we say are mystical: Sasquatch, elves, gnomes, fairies, all of those, beings, aquatic things. Then you might also, in that realm between galactic and elemental, you might have all the water stuff, so Lemurian, Atlantis, Merlantis, all of those, and usually if you're attracted to water and mermaids and all that stuff, you've probably been one of those beings at one time. So you have this, I always tell people that have multiple guides, they're usually a light worker or a star seed or both, and they have a mall's worth of guides. Because think about it, if you are working towards your purpose and you are helping people in servitude in some way to evolve and grow as a person, and to raise their vibration, then all these guides are going to line up and want to help you and work through you. So you have access to this huge, group.
Yeah. So I'm going to pull up the multiple one so you can explain a little bit about this.
Okay, so this was done for somebody who is a star seed. She a Sirius B star seed, and to the far right would be her higher self as a Syrian B star seed. Kind of looks like from the Avatar movie.
Yeah.
And then the next one over would be the being. It looks kind of draconian, but a benevolent one, like somebody who, is there for humankind. But there are so many races that we don't know about. So this is a hybrid between draconian and Andromeda, I think it was. So there are mixed races between races as well, as they call them hybrids. And then to the far back is an Octurian. And Octurians, if you look at pictures of people that have posted things that look like blue light, or it looks like a top with blue, or there's like, lines coming down with blue orbs, that's usually the energetic form of an Octurian. And Octurians are very, no nonsense, let's get things done. We want to help heal the earth and help with humans. Med beds, they shared the energetic technology from med beds. They were part of a lot of the healing technology that we have. And so that's why there's the ball. Whenever I have a ball or some type of an orb in the being's hand, that symbolizes healing abilities, healing touch. And so if you look, there's like a portal that they're coming through, and then they're standing back there showing, the healing abilities that they're helping that client with, that guide. So they're all representing a group. And then the one down with the yellow on is a Lyran or Lyran, I always say that wrong, and representing the hybrid Lyran Sekhmet from the Egyptian culture. And so that's showing that she also had lifetimes as that being. So you can have lifetimes as multiple beings. And so that being is watching over her and linking her to that Egyptian lifetime and the things that she's learned from that. And then the only one that's not a full galactic would be on the far left at the top, and that's a Buddhist monk. And so that's helping her with her spirituality and connection to spirit and understanding the connection to earth, and kind of going within, learning how to go within. So if you look at this person's guide, these all represent groups that she has. Um, she's more galactic and had more galactic lifetimes than somebody that maybe has more physical people in there because of all the guides that she has that are galactic.
Now, I'm just going to pop up another one here.
So this particular one is a section of somebody's guides, but I particularly put those three in the frame because of the insectoid in the middle. So I remember when I used to go to Tina's classes, and she would explain to me when we started doing the artwork to kind of find what she had coming through. She would talk about this mantis being coming through, and because she's channeling healing, and this mantis being was coming through, and this is one that came through in one of the drawings, and I had no idea that there were mantis beings, and there's a whole insectoid group, and that's trying to help mankind and healers. And so this person had so on the right would have been Palladian with the white hair, and then on the left, that's an elemental fairy. And then in the middle is this person's got this insectoid mantis guide. And they're all showing when there's the dots, that's healing energy going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you look, the mantis is using hands for healing. The Palladian is using their general energy and their hands, and then the fairies kind of showing the same type of energy coming up through.
Yeah, and I love the show of energy there. Liz is saying, may I know which is the Sarah's B starseed guide in drawing, Sarah? So this was the previous one, right?
Let's see. Yes, so
Oh,
Series B has different beings. I have one. Do I have the artwork with me? And I don't think I sent it to you, but they kind of look like avatars. So if you go back one where there were the
yeah.
five in there, the one to the far right, she's a serious being, kind of looks like the movie Avatar. But then there's also different beings. When I did myself as a serious being, I had incredibly large eyes, blue face, little nose, little ears, but kind of a bluish cast, like a light bluish cast. So there's Sirius A and there's Sirius B, and there's a whole bunch of different creatures that gear towards the different ones. But Sirius B would be let's see. So somebody who's just always felt the calling to help people, very highly empathic, um, has intuitive gifts, all the clairs. But the tendency is to be kind of your heart on your sleeve, and like the difference between a Syrian and a Octurian. An Octurian's very no nonsense. Come on, we're gonna go. We're gonna get it done. Let's go. Let's go. And a Sirius is like, oh, come on, take the time, smell the flowers. Let's go. So it's just a different personality, right? And I fit into the B. People are like, I love you, but you get on my nerves because you're always late, and you know. So you're kind of in your own time zone, your own thing.
And Jess is saying the Palladian reminds me of Aquarius.
Well, and Aquarius, I was looking up some info, and apparently, so Julie and I were talking about, like, did this all start, did starseeds start when we, our age, or was it further back? It's been going on for years. I'm literally
Thousands of years.
hybrids began clear back in, like, ancient times with the Mayans and all of that. Like, all of those beings that they say were gods were hybrids, galactic hybrids, Sekhmet and all of the different ones, right? So, but there was a book written by a Brad Steiger in 1976 called Gods of Aquarius. And that's the age of Aquarius. That all kind of started when we kind of maybe started talking about it or were aware of it.
Well, in this generation, I'm sure that, I mean, because we're more technologically advanced compared to 100, 200 years ago.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, gods of Aquarius. Okay.
And I see a lot of people like identifying already, which is awesome. Just saying I'm an Arcturian and Victor's a Lyran, and what's really cool about it is that most of the light workers and star seeds, so they're two different things, but I've met many that are both within our group. And usually if you're very intuitive and you want to use your healing gifts, and there's like no limit to what you can do, you're both a light worker and a star seed. Light worker, you're just working with the higher vibrations. Star seed, you can see both, but you choose to work with the higher vibrations would be the light worker. And so there's characteristics of the different ones, and you can look them up. Usually you can find the basic ones, but the ones that you'll find the most info on are like the Arcturians, the Lyrans, Andromeda, Palladians, um, and then some of the other darker ones. But the ones that are here to help us believe in the cosmic law of one. So they believe that we're all connected, we're all interconnected beings, whether you're galactic a million miles away or you're here, we're all connected. And they're here to try to help us raise our vibration and keep our earth from perishing, like to keep everything on a higher vibe.
Yeah. Now, I haven't heard of this one.
Well,
That Karen looked to.
so there's
Yeah.
so many. I mean, there's so many. And if you found the info and you resonate with it and you feel the chills when you're reading it, that's one lifetime you've had. And what I will tell you is when you're an old soul and you've been told since you were little that you're an old soul and you have all this info that you shouldn't have as a child and you understand things, and you couldn't understand the immaturity of your classmates, and why can't people just get along, why is usually with females it'll be why do they hate me one day and love me the next day, and why are we bickering, and I don't understand any of that. That's an old soul characteristic. When you're an old soul, you've lived so many different lifetimes as galactic beings. You've probably been all of them.
Yeah.
And so you're going to resonate with the ones that you've been the most lifetimes as. And so, Kevin, if you're looking up information on that particular one, or somebody's told you that and you get that chill, yes, you most definitely have been that being in a past lifetime.
Yeah. And I love this at draconian or lower vibrational, right?
Not all of them.
Yes. Not all of them, right?
They're predominantly, but just like humans, you have your good and your bad, and there's some that are benevolent that are trying to help mankind. And some of them are trying to break the karma of, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a part of this anymore. Help me,
Yes.
But I ran into some clients from Hawaii that they have their guide looks like an iguana and, very reptilian like, but he's a protector and he's there for them, so not every being, just like humans, you can't just put everybody in a box, but generally draconian would be considered not really for the human race and actually trying to control what we do. We're kind of like nothing to them. We're bottom feeders. We're food,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, ancient and eternal. So what I've been told by spirit is that if you're an old soul, your evolution goes back before the creation of this earth. You go back to what they've told me their name is the ancient ones. So the beginning of any kind of humanoid type race. And when I say humanoid, I mean we're standing upright, we have the arms and the legs, we may have an animal face or whatever, but those races. Before the creation of this earth, so you would be part of the ancient ones. And then it evolves to like light council, then it devolves into light beings, and then it goes to hybrid those beings and angelic, and then it goes to like beings that are elemental, and then it goes to coming to the earth and being part of the creation of the earth. So there's a lot of architects and people that have been a part of that. And then it is being hybrids coming through that help with technology with humans as humans were created, and then it goes to human lifetimes. So when you think about all those lifetimes, you're like a galaxy in your own experience.
Yes.
So Earth is like the university of you. So when you wake up, you're hitting the ground running to try to understand who you've been. How does that apply to this lifetime? And the reason there's so many of them waking up now is we chose to come to this lifetime to stand in the forefront in waves, waking up in waves, to
Yes.
stand in the front line and hold a vibration to keep the vibe up. So no matter what happens, we are standing front line. So that's why we're waking up in waves. You know, okay, I've got this watch and I'm going to help those as I learn. I'm going to teach others, you know, what I've learned. There is no, hey, I've got to learn everything to help other people. You just teach them what you've learned.
Right.
And then they're going to wake up and they're going to teach people behind them. So we're holding space and we're helping people to raise their vibration. We're helping people to understand who they are and not want to jump off this planet once they realize what's going on.
Yeah. Now, Victor's saying, Sarah said, some really good as old soul, we meet those people. How loves you and to next day dislike you, but I'm not everyone's cup of tea in myself. Right. Of course not. But if you did connect with them at one point, then for it to go completely opposite the next day, it's not just you.
That's
It's,
right. Here's exactly. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, it is their vibrations as well.
When you're a high level empath, here's what happens. You're like a mirror, a human mirror. And I've worked with several people on this, and it took me a while to get it through my head. If people liked you, so you're like invited to the party, and then all of a sudden you're kicked out of the party. Why? Because your vibe shakes everybody's gunk up. And now they've got to work on it. It's like looking in the mirror. You can't look in the mirror too long when you got things to hide, right? You're just like, ah. So you expose things with your vibration. You don't have to say a word. So now all of a sudden, you know, you were in the party and we're having fun with you, but now we want you to go. Just like addicts do when they start using. Okay, you got to go now. You can't watch this. We don't want you a part of this. So that's what happens. And then if you have people that instantly don't like you and you've done nothing, it's your vibration. It's not you.
Exactly.
It's not you. They can't handle your high vibration. It makes them literally sick because they have chosen to stay either in their gunk, or they may have an attachment that is keeping them in a very low vibe, or they're just not ready to work on their stuff. So they're like, "You gotta go."
Yeah. And Kevin says, because we have a mission, and I've been feeling so heavy and low vibrational lately. Faith and love, we've got to get you up there. Raise your vibrations. Thank you for coming in today. There's a reason
Exactly.
for it.
Well, and when you start feeling low, here's what I found. Okay, so as you're here and you wake up, you go on like a video game levels. Okay. And you know how each level of video game, you learn your monsters, you learn the things that you got to do to get to through the doors, and you know what's going on and you beat that level. Now you level up and it's all new. Everything's backwards. This door doesn't go to the same place. The monsters are different. Everything's different, right? When you're in that process of leveling up and you feel like you're going backwards and you're sad and you're grieving because all the gunk is coming up that you need to work on, and it's coming up so that there's room for more light. So feel it, feel the sadness, cry, but let it go. Let it transmute it out like a black cloud of smoke. Let it out. Feel it, let it out. And then you're about ready to level up to a new level. That's what that means. So now you're going to your next level of consciousness. So it is important to be around people that make you feel better and do the things that bring you joy.
Yeah. And I'm actually the party. Yes, Kevin, you are the party. And
Right?
that is a way to think as well. I am the party. I am the higher vibrational person. I might not have been a minute ago, but I am right now. I mean,
And
you
we
can
have
make the change.
Exactly. And we have to recharge ourselves, and it helps to be around other people. Think of
Oops, she froze.
it like Chris. Sorry about that. I keep getting calls and I blocked it, but it keeps doing. Anyway, you know how crystals help you charge and charge you up, like selenite and different ones. Well, we have to be around other people that charge us up, and then we have to go and decompress afterwards. That's why you have to sometimes be alone to just decompress all that junk. And like Jess is saying, you know, taking an Epsom salt bath and washing all that away and visualizing it, or a shower, breathing it out. You know, when somebody's rambling and you're feeling their gunk, as they're talking, just breathe it out, and it'll just go in and out. It'll transmute straight through you.
And dancing and songs, very, very important. I mean, just play whatever is working for you. And
Whatever brings you joy, right?
yeah,
Even smiling. I found this out. My guides helped me understand this. If you sit there and force yourself to smile for like 30 seconds, all of a sudden your vibe goes up. You could be in the worst mood, and if you smile, so that's why they say watch comedy, watch things that make you laugh and smile, and all of that, you know, um, for sure.
Vidikins, there are save rooms. It's okay to take a break. Yeah. Uh, and then Victor, indeed, Sarah, I said to them last night, you need to deal with your own stuff. Excuse my words. Trying found better word for it, but anyway, people need to deal with that inner child. I told them yes, but remember, don't accept their energy. It's your choice. I know it. I know as an empath, it's a little more difficult. But like she's been talking about, you've got to be protecting yourself.
As an empath, this is something my guides help me understand as I've been working with people and trying to help them understand that gift, especially when you're that high level of empath, which starseeds are. You know, there's different levels of empaths. Those that are in their junk and they're around, moving around, and they're the drama queen and everything's, oh my God, I'm in so much pain and all of it. Okay, that is in the level of like a newer being, somebody that's trying to work through the empathic gifts. But when you're a high level empath, you feel everybody's stuff. You might even feel their illness. You walk in a room, you can sense all the energies. You know when people have their walls up. You sense it with your eyes closed, just like an animal does. Okay, it's like you sense it. You have to understand that the reason people feel like they can approach you is so that they can release. You know, and we're doing our servitude of being able to help people release stuff, but we have to learn to set boundaries. So what we have to learn is how to verbally set boundaries with people, so they don't get right in your face. And then you have to learn how to energetically put that bubble. You know how when you walk in a room and you're like, I'm going to go talk to Susie over there, I'm going to tell her about something, and you walk up to her and you feel that wall, like, nope, not today, right? So they've got that wall up. They already have that wall. We don't have those walls. We have to put them up energetically. So before you ever interact with your phone, before you talk to anybody, before you put your feet on the ground in the morning, you should shield and ground yourself and put yourself in a protective bubble. And then when it breaks and you start feeling people's crud, you do it again. That's something you have to visually do, and you have to set boundaries verbally with people. That's a life lesson as an empath that you have to learn.
You are the alchemist. You can transmute it all.
For sure.
Definitely. And I don't know if you saw what Harley had put on there, that yesterday your energy and vibe exposes who the other person truly is. For some, it may be too much to handle this exposure.
Yes, that's what I was talking about, where your vibe brings out their darkness, the things that they need to work on. And if they're ready, they'll work on it. If they're not, they push you away, like, "Ooh, get out of my face." You know, that's why you might be in a relationship with somebody, for example, and they love you and they think you're so great. And then all of a sudden they're like, why are you judging me? Why? And you're like, I didn't say anything. I didn't do
Right,
anything. What did I, who are you talking to? I don't know who you're. Why are you yelling at me? I
Come on.
didn't say anything. I've had actually a conversation. I was dating somebody and I was telling them how I felt, and they're like, "Why are you yelling at me?" And I'm like, "I'm not." Like, what?
Oh, I know.
It is the vibe, especially when we become passionate about something, the vibe just, and they feel it and they're not ready for that. So you have to understand that you're what the Native American tribes call the yoka. You are part of the party and then you're kicked out of the party.
Yeah. And it's sort of like you are the burning sage when you go into the room. Okay.
Yes, yes.
And you've
And
got
the
to
mirror.
realize, sorry.
And the mirror. So you
Yeah. And
visualize that. You are the sage that brings everything, running away. But you're also the mirror that they're looking at themselves in the mirror and they see what they're hiding and it
yeah,
bothers them.
right. And it is what bothers them about themselves is what they're seeing in you at that moment or
Yes.
what
They'll
they
blame it
want.
on you, but
Yeah.
it's actually them.
Yes. Exactly. I know. And I know someone had said to me that didn't like me burning sage in my house. And it's like, oh, then it's working.
Yes. You just solved the mystery.
Yeah. It's
For
like,
sure.
okay. I used to be bad at throwing people's junk back to them at times. I would be left wondering what just happened. Now I'm more less deflected if it's bad. Yeah. And then again, we've talked about this on other shows and many times. Bless and release that person's energy that's coming at you. Bless it first because it goes back in a better way than it came to you. Okay.
Right. And understand they may not even be aware of it. Okay. Some people have attachments on them. They're not aware
Yeah.
of this. They struggle with it. They'll say, "Oh, I have these demons. I don't know," but it literally is an attachment in some cases. And they don't realize it. So you have to realize that, "Oh, I see that. I see what's going on here. And I know what I'm dealing with, You don't take it personally.
Right.
I've
Um,
had things like that taunt me through somebody with addiction. A lower level being taunting me through them. Now I was getting upset at that person, and then I realized that's not even that person. Spirit would show me an overlay on their face where they had a big grin with little dark teeth and eyes
exactly.
black. You see that. That's a dark being that is working through that person to taunt you.
Yes.
So you have to see that and realize, oh, I release this person because they have something going on, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. And so, yeah, brilliant. Thanks, Sarah. That's what impasse lessons. I could, anyway. So I exposed this person. Yeah. And again, other people are going through their stuff. You've got to take care of you. Don't worry about them.
You don't have
Bless
to
them.
expose their stuff. It'll
Yeah.
expose itself. You need to
Yeah.
help them plant seeds of light, because even the darkest creature, just like the Grinch, right? His heart
Yeah.
got bigger when they planted that seed. Think of it
Yeah.
like that. Oh, I'm going to be nice to you because that thing doesn't like that. I'm not going to, you may not even be aware it's there, but I'm going to plant the positive seed. When you run from me, I'm going to give you a hug. Like you show them the
Yes.
love, because even the darkest thing can turn light. Like,
Right.
because if you point it out, and when you're intuitive, you can profile somebody. You've got this, blah, 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 blah. You point it out, it makes that thing mad, it runs them through even more.
Yeah.
Until they're ready to change, it doesn't help to do that.
Right. Exactly. And it's kill them with kindness. You're not killing the person. You're not killing the pure soul. You're killing the attachments, the demons, the
Right.
distractions, and the blocks that they have.
That they have, for
Yeah.
sure.
So honest to the point of recklessness like that. Sometimes, but I know you're a little bit older than Victor is, so more mature. No offense, Victor, but definitely it comes with time. A lot of the younger star seeds, though, they are old souls. So they get it a lot quicker than some of the older people do.
Right.
So take your time and just understand what they're going through, but don't accept it for yourself.
Yeah, that
Um,
doesn't mean you need to be around it or you need to accept that truth that they have going on. You just know what you're dealing with.
yeah,
You know that you're not dealing with this person, you're dealing with their attachments.
yeah. People cast spells or curses all the time on themselves. Yes, exactly, exactly. And so when you call them out on their stuff, you're actually accepting it. So don't accept. That's your choice. It's your choice. You can accept. If not, it's your choice. I'm mad. I'm just disappointed and leave. And
You
I
tell them
know,
how you feel, she's saying. You tell them how you feel,
yeah.
and when you leave, you dismiss yourself. Yeah.
And it's just, I love you. I just don't need your energy right now. Thank you.
Yeah. I can't be around this right now. For
Yeah.
sure.
Okay. And Miss Angie is in the house.
Hey, Andy.
Magical Kevin. Yeah. So take care of you because you're the most important person in your life.
Right.
But be aware of this and what Sarah has shared with us today. If it resonates with you, that is fantastic. If you know of someone who needs to hear this, please share it directly with them because we need the connections and well, as the tagline says, connect, share, and inspire because her words are inspiring us and helping us understand that we're the ones here to make a difference on the front line to raise the vibrations.
Right. Through all of this transition. I mean, the earth has never gone through such a quick transition. Like it's transitioning and we're here to hold space and to keep the vibe up. Envision us holding hands on the front line and keep and all connecting. I used to try to get in some of the channeling groups to do that because what Spirit always showed me was that if you get a whole bunch of light workers together and you hold hands and you meditate together, it's like one big being coming up together,
Mm.
oneness, and there's nothing that you can't conquer with that. And so if we stick together instead of dividing ourselves, and that's what these galactic beings are trying to help us with. The idea and the belief, the cosmic law of one, that we're all connected energetically.
Yeah. And with this type of technology, we can connect the whole world
Right. And beyond.
and beyond. Yes, definitely and beyond. I say the world because our own known visualized information and entities. However, there's so much more we don't know. Like you
Right.
were saying, there's so many more galactic people out there.
It's a lot.
Well, it is 9 o'clock, so that means we're going to get ready to do some reading now. And if you still have questions on what she said, that's great. We'll keep doing it and feeling it great. So we're going to take a little bit of break, and we will be back in 2. Okay, we're back. And just to finish off with the information or the postings after we left, I love the song Waka Waka by Shakira. You're a good soldier, choosing your battles, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, get back in the saddle. And there's a popular theory we are all multiple points of a single consciousness. Yes.
The theory of one, for sure.
And that's what a lot of us are doing and working on our conscious awareness and being more one with everyone else. So, and Katie Newkirk, I loved all the information today. Thank you so much.
And what I'm doing, everybody can do. It's just believing it. You have to believe it. You have to believe you can connect. We're all connected. So you could connect with these beings too. You just have to have discernment as to who you're connecting to. You feel the vibe. You always go with the vibe. But we're all connected. Cosmic law of one.
Yeah. Okay. Do we have anybody who's wants to ask a question, who needs some assistance, or just ask questions on what she's given us? Yes, Nova, do you have questions, or are you just acknowledging what she just said? Indeed, Jess, that song is brilliant. Okay. Because we are, okay, the present exposure is greater because we're getting closer to 2030. The year said that the Galactica has given the Earth to get its stuff together before they take over. Okay. Didn't know that. Okay, here's Mr. Lewis is the first one in. Okay, highest and greatest.
I would appreciate a highest and greatest, please, and thank you. I want you guys to know too, if you want me to pull a guide through, I can as well. So just know that can be an option.
Lewis, would you like her to pull a guide through? I'm feeling the vibration today in this chat, in this program is so strong.
It is.
And we are surrounded by so much. I can't describe it. Agreeing with the law of one. Okay, wow. Okay,
yeah, it's a strong vibe for sure.
Very. Okay. Liz, I got you on the list as well.
And I want you guys to know, when I do the drawings, they're just like a simple like scribble, but if you want them, I'll finish them out and then put like a cardboard frame and you can get them for $15. So just know that if you like it, we can do that. If I did a painting, they'd be like 150, but these are just little snippets of your reading today. So just keep that in mind and just let me know if that's something you want.
Okay. No guide, please, not today. Okay. Highest and greatest good for Liz.
Highest and greatest. Okay.
Okay, get that stuff. Okay. Got you, Jess. Don't mean to have dead air here. She's drawing and I'm writing the information I'm getting because I'm so used to taking second. It's back and forth. Oh my goodness. So, and again, this is Sarah Lyle. She is part of our psychic squad and very astute and very connected, not just cosmically. Okay. Wow, look at everyone popping in. Okay, Victor, you already put in something. Okay, so you're just repeating? All right. Feeling like a very different person today in a positive way, and I super appreciate it. You are welcome, Nova. Just stick around. We've got more going on. Yeah. Wow. Okay. What I got immediately for you, Lewis, is your knees. That they're being overworked right now. I've got the inside of my left knee, and then it radiated to the right knee, and it's more central, lower front, and then it goes down. The pain goes down the right side of the leg, whereas on the left side it goes up a little bit. Um, they're suggesting a roller for the top part of your left leg or the thigh, above, right above the knee for your left side. As far as the right, they're suggesting a massage. Um, Self massage is fine, but they, of course, anytime you feel these pain or I feel these pains for you, I would suggest you go in and uh, have them take a look. If it's been a while since you've had them x-rayed, I know that you did a lot of walking for your last job. So I don't know if you've had them checked out since, but yeah, I'm feeling um, now the right side is radiating up, um, the right side up to my hip, to the hip bone. So be very careful right now and take good care of yourself, please, because I know you're up and down stairs and everything right now. And I had no pain before I started thinking of you. So, whew, let it go. Anything else? What do you have?
Okay. Yeah, I was feeling the pain too, like from the lower back,
Mm,
like sciatic, all the way down the legs. Yeah. So what they're telling me is that, and I have to do the same thing, get up every few minutes and walk around a little bit. Like the sitting is what's causing some of that going on. So what Spirit's showing me, and I know you didn't say guides, but this is more of a galactic thing. So they're telling me that you're getting messages, sacred messages from all over galactically, Saturn, the pyramids. This is light language. You're definitely a star seed, able to astral travel in your dreams or in your thoughts. And that basically it's time for you to start digging more into like sacred geometry.
okay. Wow. I hope that helps. It's probably what you've been working on. However, okay, where are we? Wow, we've had a lot of people popping in. Yeah, that's really okay. Let me go back to the penned. Okay, Liz, you're next. Here we go. I'm looking for teaching jobs. Is it the right time for me to move out of home for a job? Your male energy is stagnant. I want you to stay put. I'm feeling you really need to rebalance yourself. There's a lot more uh, lighter vibrations in your female energy. However, the male is so stuck right now that you need to rebalance. They're suggesting amethyst is a very good way to get that taken care of. Um, oh, they've got a few suggestions. Amethyst, But you have to use amethyst by itself. Don't use it with anything else. It doesn't work well with others, but it does almost everything else, everything that any other stone does. However, what they're also saying to me is bloodstone is very important. Lay it as you lay down, put a bloodstone on your uh, right side, and listen to high vibrational music. 1111 Portal, I used to listen to. It's very good music to listen to. I'll try and find out or remember who had that posted, but it is on YouTube. 1111 Portal. It's great music. It really helps. That's all I got. A lot of stuck stuff. Stress. And looks like Miss Sarah's still working on it.
Sorry, I
Okay.
got carried away. Okay. Um, okay, so basically the energy and the push to you towards teaching is your guides, like this is you in your energetic form. The reason the robe is because you've had many lifetimes. So the robe is just, the wisdom, the knowledge. Um, so the reason you feel like it's time to like get out of the house and do whatever is because your guides are pushing you. They're like, you're ready to teach, you're ready to help. But they want you to find what makes you light up, like as far as the classroom or the place or whatever. So go and visit the places you're thinking about trying to get a job at and really manifest, okay, I like the vibe of this place. I like the kids. I like what's going on or whatever it is that you're teaching, because you need to feel passionate about the place that you're at so that you keep your vibe going and lit up so you can affect those around you in a positive way. And so instead of looking at it like, okay, well, what job can I get? Look at it of I could get whatever I want. Which place do I want to be? Where do I like the vibe? Where do I feel like I can make the biggest impact? And I feel like you're going to be drawn to the place that has the most starseed kids. Like you're going to feel like you need to help them connect, because a lot of what Spirit shared with me, that a lot of what is being diagnosed as autism is actually those that have had more galactic lives than maybe haven't even had a human life, and they're coming through, and it's just the acclimation. And you can speak with these children telepathically so that you'll be able to understand them. You'll be able to get what's going on. So just know that you need to fill the vibe out of the place and know that you have the choices. And then you'll know, do I need to get out or I need to move or whatever I need to do, you know? So that's what I'm getting.
And the 1111 Portal, if, for those of you who, but I'm talking about the music, but for those of you who don't understand what 1111 is, it's all about manifesting. So it is what lights you up. Yes, what you need to manifest for yourself, what's going to give you higher vibrations. So it ties greatly into it. So if you need help finding that, Liz, just give me an email and I will find it for you and send it. I'm not going to do that right now. But yes, thank you. Thank you, Liz. I hope that helps you. But and let us know how things go, please.
Definitely.
And I would love if you could pull one of my guides through, and that's Katie.
Katie, that's the next person.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's next. Jess, you're next, then Tina, then Victor. I'm getting music for you too. Kat, for now, if you could go to Love Riot on Facebook, I'll be able to see you better. My personal Facebook is not going public, so we cannot see you on Restream. So please go to Love Riot.
Okay.
Okay, what you got?
Okay, so keep in mind you've got a bunch of different guides. This is one that's coming through at this particular time. That's trying to let you know that you have guides from that group, but you have an angelic guide coming through representing the different archangels, predominantly Michael for protection and Gabriel and Raphael for healing abilities that you have. And they want you to understand that your energy is healing, that you don't have to give the shirt off your back. The time of giving above and beyond what you feel, until it hurts, give it until it hurts, is over. Okay. What you have to do is keep your vibe up, do things that bring you joy. Doesn't have to cost anything. Watching something on TV that brings you joy, talking to friends that bring you joy, drinking a cup of coffee if that brings you joy. Do the things that keep your vibe up, because you're like a human crystal. So you're walking around and your vibe is clearing the space. So as you walk around as a human generator of a crystal, you are clearing the negative energy and filling it with the positive energy. So you don't have to give the shirt off your back. You have to keep your vibe up. And how do you do that? You surround yourself with people who bring you joy. You do things that bring you joy, and you start to eliminate the things that you can that don't bring you joy. And you set boundaries with people. Setting boundaries is an issue for you. You need to set boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
So that is what I'm getting.
And when people return back to you after you've already cut ties, remember those boundaries are put up for a reason. And don't turn that red flag, don't throw any bleach at it and turn it white, because it's not going to work. It's
Still a
going to
red
be,
flag, right?
yeah. And the song for you is Addicted to Love. Um, and I think that's very apropos um, to setting boundaries, because there's one line in there that I say over and over again to myself. I'm immune to this stuff. Okay. And it says, you think you're immune to the stuff. No, I am immune to the stuff. I don't want to lower my vibrations for somebody else. I am me, not them. So
Think it like water rolling off a duck's back. It just touches and rolls off.
but listening to songs and singing them for yourself and knowing that you are in charge, you make the decisions and nobody completes you but you.
Exactly. And I know we love hard because we can see somebody that's really empathetic. You see the light, that little bit of mustard seed of light, but you have to understand that some people don't have the capacity to love like you do. And those people lower your vibration. They're hard to be around. And so you have to understand who those people are and eliminate them. And the ones that cry the loudest about that are the ones that don't want you to have boundaries, because they're using you like an addiction. You are their addiction. Your energy is addictive to them. They feel like they suck it in. They feel like a better person. They feel cleansed. And they don't care about you. They only care about your energy. So they come back for more. It's called an energy vampire, and they're real. And you have to eliminate those people, and they're going to squeal, oh no, you're terrible. Why? But because they're addicted to your energy.
And they just want to keep taking.
Yeah. And we get those people attracted to us because we're the easiest to manipulate and say, well, they see the good in me, they're going to adore me, so we have to learn to set boundaries with those people. So we will attract narcissists and all different kinds of people, their life lessons, to learn what are the signs, what do I avoid when I see the red flags coming? Believe what people do, not what they say.
Right.
If
Exactly.
they show you who they are, believe them, not what they say, but what do
And I
they do?
won't, right. And I won't do it again. You know they will.
They will do it again. Basically, whatever they say, it's the opposite. So, and
Right.
if you love them in the beginning, it's because they are mirroring you. So what they do is they mimic what they ask you lots of questions. What do you like? What's your favorite color? What's your whatever? They're mimicking your light to attract you. So what you're doing is falling in love with you, not them. You're falling in love with the characteristics they're mimicking. And then once you love them, they drop it and they become themselves. And that's the change. The mask is off.
Yes. All right. I hope that helps you. And now we're going to move on to Jess. I would love a highest and greatest good. Highest good if possible. Everything's possible. It's almost like you're on a pogo stick, Jess. Yeah, I'm seeing you on a pogo stick, up and down, up and down, up and down. They're telling you to hang up the pogo stick and fly. In order to fly is first love yourself, um, and you'll be soaring soon. Oh, shed all of that stuff. Oh, muck and mire. And what you just said, Sarah, about um, it's like water off a duck's back. Just let it go. All that negativity.
I got that from a watching RuPaul's Drag Race. There was a drag queen that they were just bashing. You know, your looks, you're this, you're that. She's like, water off a duck's back. And it's like, yep, you hear it, but it just goes on. And I just love that. Like, yep, I have water repellent on. Come on at me. I'm gonna just roll right off. Right? You have to get
Exactly.
to that point and not take it personally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you have so many gifts. We've talked about that so many times, Jess. Your gifts are phenomenal. Just tap into what you've got. Song from Trevor Hall. I have what I need from the mountain to the sea. I have everything I need. There's always music come up for me. I don't know why.
Okay, let's see. How do I?
But you got
Okay, so Jess, this doesn't even explain you. This is just your light body. Okay, so basically, um, you're at a point in your evolution as a soul in this lifetime that you have to understand the magnificence of who you are. Like you have to find that inner goddess and realize that you are all things. Like there isn't anything that you can't do. Connect with all of that. There's no limits. We put the limits on ourselves. And so if I was to like do a soul portrait of you, it would be something like this. You know, you're like this galactic being that has like connection to everything, you know? You can see that, but see how she's like just floating above and she's, got the universe on her side. Like you're literally like that. Um, you just have to see it, and we get these life lessons where people come at us trying to dim our light or whatever because they see that and they don't want us to, do that. Like enough of that, enough of you spreading that light. But you just have to know that means that you have a big mission,
yeah.
that things are coming to test you. But, you know, um, be unapologetically you. No matter what anybody says, that's just, you just have to say, okay, you know what? Same thing, water off a duck's back. They just don't understand. They're not at a conscious level enough to understand who I am. And that's okay. But you don't need anything to connect. You don't need cards. You don't need to, like, you are a straight channel connection. And I would challenge you to try it without, because I know a lot of people want the cards, and I understand that. I totally get that. The visual, right? They want a concrete visual, but I want you to understand that you are not the cards. I am not the art. I am more than that. I am able to connect with all beings. And as long as there's a message that needs to go to somebody, it's going to connect. So it's off of you. You don't have to have all this schooling and certifications and whatever. You are a clear channel that spirit has your back. They're going to give the messages that you need to give to people, and then you have the empathy to catch them when they fall, when they're like, oh my god, I didn't know that, or I didn't know that that was something about myself, because you see them, you're able to see them. So know the power in that.
And you're directly connected to the one. Okay. You are part of the oneness. So hopefully you'll see yourself soon, because we see you. We truly do see you, and you don't need anything else. You might have the art, but your art, Sarah, is just your information written down by your own hand. You're channeling, yes, but it's coming through you onto the paper. And
Right. And right.
that you could do also, Jess, or there's another way. I mean, I get music for a person.
Right.
And so it's just whatever is calling you, reach out and grab it and embrace it. Yeah.
They use our senses, they use our gifts. I'm a trained artist, so they use my artistic ability to, it's just easier for them to channel through me, but anybody can do it. Like Julie says, use whatever comes to you, whether it's your voice, the sound of your voice is healing, your touch, your messages, everything. If you give somebody a piece of paper, you have transmuted the vibration of this paper, and now when they touch it, they're going to feel that. If you touch them, they feel that. The smile on your face, when they see the smile, when they hear your voice, when they see a picture of you smiling, it changes their vibration. So don't be afraid to use everything that comes to you. You know, if you chant, you don't have to be able to sing a thing. It's the sound of your voice.
And I put this back up because, Sarah, I'm sure you know this. Jess has not named herself or set up a channel. However, unveil and unwind. That is what we're asking you to do. That's in your name. So unveil yourself and unwind your gifts.
I know it's scary to get out there. Here I am for the first time, and I'm 60, like the first time ever getting up here and doing this. But I'm telling you, you can reach more people because your purpose is to help. So you can reach more people when you get on a platform, but you have to see it and believe it so that you can allow those things to come through. And it doesn't matter if your hair's sticking straight up, it doesn't matter. It's your vibe. It's
Right.
that's why people say to you, you look beautiful no matter what you do. You could wear a garbage sack and look great, because your vibe is what it is.
Yes. Yes, very much so. I'm going to double check on that. Yeah. Okay. Nothing's been. Okay. And Tina Shelton, are you here? I didn't ask if Jess was here because I know that she's going to be around if she wasn't here right this minute. Tina, I know you do other things. So Tina, Victor, hopefully we can get through all four of you that we have left on the list, which is Tina, Victor, Nova, and Harley. But I need you to pop in and let me know you are here, please. Going to the bottom. Okay.
And Jess, I understand you, I was the same way. I got made fun of for being my unique self, but it's the time now we can be unique. And you're going to hit the people that are wanting to see that. So if they tune into you, that's why I always tell people go and do it professionally, because then the people that want and like your vibe are going to come in. Those people are going to want to, you don't have to convince anybody. They want what you have. They want to hear, and they like your vibe,
You don't chase, you attract.
You attract. And Spirit brought the people. I said, you know what? I don't want people that are testing me and all of that. Just bring the people that need my help. And they did. For 7 years, they've brought the people that need my help.
And I'm glad that you said that you used to sing and dance. So what's stopping you from doing it again? Unless it's not your passion right now. Now, this is a little bit of a segue because on I have to check my calendar here. On July 2nd, Michelle Frost will be on. And I know you've seen her in the chats, but she's a singer songwriter. And I will be interviewing her, and then she will be singing for us along and being accompanied by her significant other. So I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a little bit different show. I'll sit and listen to it all, and I'm so excited about that. But this will be her chance to shine. And again, Jess, if you want to get on and sing or do dance or anything, please let me know, because I'd love to have you.
And as you were saying that, Julie, I got a message for Jess about that once you get going and you start feeling freer and expressive, it would be really helpful to have, like seminars or groups where you get out and you're just breaking free to the song. Everybody's just out there in the air where they can move around, and they're just dancing and moving to it, because you're learning to let go is what you're doing. You're learning to be free, let go, and expand your mind, because you have to be in that consciousness to allow these messages to flow. So, and the inner child will come out. Let her out.
Yes, exactly. That inner child needs to get out. You've been a mother and a caregiver for long enough. You need a little bit of a break. Even if it's 15, 20, 30 minutes, 2 hours.
Yeah.
I know you can work it out. I know you can. But it's about you. Okay, let me go hide this again and pull up. Miss Tina is in the house, and she wants for highest and greatest good. You didn't want a guide pulled or anything? I want to make sure of that. And yes, we are all connected, and I'm glad Michelle is your bonus mother, Victor. And she's great, and I'm so looking forward to seeing her too. And like I said, the vibrations today are just so strong. So keep it up, and please share, everyone, because what Sarah has shared with us, I know a lot of people need to hear it. And Victor, please share it with the other Victor. Send him the link when we're done so that he can listen to it later. Remember, this will be posted on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. So keep watching. Hi, Faith and Love. It's good to see you. And I didn't take anything personally when you were saying that. By the way, I don't mean that as I might see you differently if I knew you better. I mean that I know I don't really know you that well, so my opinion may not mean much. Opinions matter. It just, if we choose to accept it, then we do. If we choose not to, that's up to us. Whatever resonates, please accept, everyone. Okay, thank you, Kevin. Okay, what do you have for Tina as I've been talking to the rest?
Okay. Couple things. Okay, so this symbolizes you in the middle of a portal. Um, so basically, what they're showing me is that you have the ability to what do you call astrally travel between dimensions. And that it's hard for you sometimes to stay grounded because of that. So when you feel like you're spacing off and your mind's traveling places, you're literally coming out of your body and you're traveling. And I understand this time and this day and place, it's hard to stay in your body and feel the pain and feel the worry and feel the, concern of what's going to happen. But we need to stay present in our bodies so that we can hold space and we can be aware of what's going on and to try to keep the vibe up. But also, we're here for a reason. We're here to help others, and to keep the vibration up and to help the transition. So know that that's a gift that you have. Water is really important to you. It's important to all of us, but keep that in mind that if you ever feel like you just need to like decompress, drink some water, take a shower, take an Epsom salt bath. It helps to transmute and release all of that gunk that you've taken on for the day. Learn some of those techniques, breathing techniques, meditative, music. I listen to chakra balancing music sometimes when I need to tune out. Lay down for 10 minutes, take a nap and tune out. But just know that there's healthy ways to get through what's going on. It's not that it's not healthy to be off somewhere, but if you're driving, you don't want to space off. I find myself sometimes driving and I'm out of my body, so try to stay in the moment in your body. And hopefully that was helpful.
Yeah. And I'm getting a lot of positive energy, a lot of strong, positive, active energy around your shoulders, almost like you have wings. So
Mhm.
traveling, yes, and
That's why it's so
flying,
easy.
yeah.
Ah,
And one suggestion was made to me that when you do astro travel, she's Scorpio. When you do astro travel, or when your mind is moving around, I was told to wear an anchor around my neck.
that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
it keeps
To
you,
remind yourself, anchor yourself. Yeah.
and with an anchor and your call to water, it'll keep you grounded very well. So it depends on what that anchor is made out of, but it really doesn't, because that anchor is going to keep you where you need to be. Uh, Physically, and hopefully your mind will be that. That happens a lot.
Our perception is everything.
Yes.
So, what the way that we look at things actually alters where we're at and actually the vibration we're in, everything. And so I need a lot of times symbols of things to remind me of things, protective symbols, whatever it is. If you're a visual person, those are helpful, or something tactile that you can touch,
Yeah.
helps to feel grounded. If you're a touch person and you like smooth things, which a lot of empaths, we like smooth things. We don't like heavy things on us, things that weigh us down. They have to be soft, and then take a smooth palm stone that's something that's protective or keeps you a grounding stone, and have it in your pocket and rub on it when you feel like that. That use your senses to remind you.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So Victor's turn. I hope that
All
helps.
right,
Tina.
Victor.
Please let us know. And on any of my shows, and remember, and I guess I haven't said this enough, is that Sarah is with Bonnie on Friday Night Live Happy Hour. So she will do readings on that.
Yeah, and the same deal on there too. If you like your drawing and you want me to finish it out, it looks like a little scribble, but then I finish it out and it ends up being, something like this. If you want it, let me know, because I've kept all the drawings. Um, and I mail it to you for $15, which is really cheap for a piece of artwork in itself, but I want you guys to have it to connect, with. So, but yeah, we do that on Fridays, and then, we want you to bring a beverage and enjoy the Friday night with us.
And again, she says it changes over time depending on what changes in your life too. You see things differently, so
Right.
it's not just a one-time thing.
Yeah, it changes. Yeah. And it actually, I mean, I know they say don't read a person more than one time. You'll get the same thing, which you will if they're looping around in issues, right? Like, I want to know, is this my soulmate? Is this my whatever? That's why I don't like to do soulmate stuff, because usually if you're asking me, it's probably not. And it is. I don't like, Angie and I agree on that. I don't like to do love stuff because it's bad news. It's like, no, because I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear, because the spirit's very brutally honest. I'm just the messenger. But if it's something different, like, I want to know my guide this time, I want to know this time, whatever, then it can be totally different. So depends on where your focus is.
And if you don't feel it in your gut and your heart that that person is your soulmate, you have to ask. No.
You would know if they are. It's an overwhelmingly, and it's complicated. There are people that are in your soul group, and good or bad, like, they're meant to teach you a lesson every time. He got me again in this lifetime, like, good and bad that circle around with you. But a soulmate is an undeniable, you can't keep apart. Like, you're always going to end up back together. So you don't need validation of that. That is just the way it is.
Okay, so what do I need to know from the guides for midsummer over here for my greatest and highest, please? Okay, there's music. Hmm. Immediately I got steady love for you, Victor. They want you to be, they're not saying balance, but be steady and steadfast. But that the lyrics, I'm going to type it in there, what it was. Uh, and I think you'll like the most of the lyrics to it. I haven't heard the music per se. It came up, and this is not a song I'm used to, but the words came in steady love. So hopefully you can check it out and let us know how it makes you feel. But I'm feeling that your energy is all over the place right now, Victor. Um, you still are holding on to the energy of um, what happened yesterday. Let it go. It has nothing to do with you now. You've gotten past that. Hmm. I'm not sure what you meant by that, Faith. Yeah, don't let people make fun of you for any reason. You know who you are, and if you don't, work on it. Work on you. Self care is, to me, the second most important thing. First is self is infinite, pure, perfect, unconditional love for yourself. Oh, that's what you're talking about, the licenses. Okay. Yes, you're right. It's not about me. It's about them. Right. And so let go of their energy. It has nothing to do with you. Love them. Send out the unconditional love and be done with it. Learn the lesson whenever you're ready.
Okay. So what I'm getting is, your guides have already told you that you have a Lyran lineage, and that guide is coming predominantly through to help you understand that there's a whole lot. You're like in transition right now of understanding what that means, and they want you to focus instead of on humans and what's going on with humans and what they're saying and what they're doing. They want you to focus in on understanding who you are. So looking up things about Lyrans, looking up about, what your gifts are, how to work with your gifts. Um, it's not necessary to like giving the messages, yes, but it's like, here's the message, put it down on the table. If they choose to get it, they choose to get it. If they don't, they don't. Feeling the room. If people feel like they're really not um ready for a message or whatever, then write it down and put a pin on it with their name on it and come back to it when you feel like they're more approachable. But right now it's about you understanding you, so that you understand how to use those gifts to help other people. So when you have an epiphany, oh yeah, write it down. They're telling me journal, 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 like write things down. It'll make sense later. You'll connect the dots. They want you to really start focusing on your light language and like understanding the symbols and those kind of things, and just be your unique self. You know what? Not everybody understands a galactic. Not everybody understands the differences and whatever, and that's okay. That means they're not awoke enough yet to understand it. It doesn't mean something bad, but people point out behaviorisms if they don't understand. So just know that you don't think like everybody else, you don't act like everybody else, because you are more galactic than you are human, and so you need to understand that part of yourself and be proud of it and be proudly uniquely you. We weren't born to fit in, we were born to stand out. So just know that. And you have to know your truth and believe in your truth, and you don't have to explain that to anybody, nobody but yourself. Believe it yourself and just shine. And when people start making fun, just smile, roll it off your back, off a duck's back. It's okay, you don't need to understand, it's all right.
And Victor, embrace who you are. But remember, you have a lot more gifts than you know. We talked
Yes.
about you haven't tapped into, yeah, you're an empath. You can heal. You're intuitive. You got all those. But that's just the start. There's so much more to you. So
So
much.
much more. That's just the surface.
Yeah.
That's the surface, honey. That's there's so much more. It's I what my guides have explained to me is once you start having these awarenesses of, oh, I'm this and I'm this and I'm this, it's the university of you. Okay. This life experience is the university of you. So now, you break that up in segments. This is the topic today. This is the topic for that. This is past. This is present. And then see how it connects to this lifetime. Oh, I learned about this about myself. How do I use that gift in this lifetime in servitude to help other people? How do I do that? And how does it help me? That's what we're basically supposed to be doing.
And journaling is very important. And remember, when you journal, put the date down.
Yes.
If something specific or something aha moments or anything at that time, use a little tab, a colored tab, so that you can go back to it. I know that Bonnie journals, and she journals about the new moon, and when that particular moon, where it's located, becomes full, then she says, okay, go back to your journaling back when it was a new moon and see what you wrote down and see if all those things came to fruition. I mean, that's what this is about, learning new things and saying, oh, wait a minute, I remember that. Okay, I got to go look back here, and now I understand. Okay.
Right. And no matter what the message is, I don't care if they give you the image of a shoe and you're like, a shoe? What? At some point it's going to make sense, and then you can go back and write down what it is. I give this example. When I first started drawing, I told you I was drawing these things and I had to try to figure who they went to. Well, I had this one picture that looked like a labradorite cave, like the wall of a labradorite. And then you look up and there's like you're underwater and you see the light. You know how you see the light through the water. And I couldn't figure out for the life of me, what was that? So I had that. Now, fast forward to 5 years later, I go through a past life regression. I see that cave. I am in that cave, look just like that. Now, I didn't notice at first that the drawing, but my guides reminded me because I got the mental image. Remember that drawing you did? I had to dig it out. It's almost spooked me out. It was exactly the way that it was in the past life regression. Now, here I thought I was this beautiful mermaid, whatever. No, I had an ugly head like an eel with a beautiful tail, though. But it was and I was male, but I was in timeout because I had been giving Lemurian crystals to the humans at the surface. So I have all these lifetimes I've gone rogue, and this lifetime is supposed to be servitude. I'm supposed to listen to my guides. So that's why they give me little baby steps at a time. But, it made sense 5 years later.
Yeah.
So keep a book of those things, and then you can go back. It's like an onion. It's layers of the onion. Why do they give us little clues and not the whole picture? Because they want us to do the work. If they gave us all the answers, what are we doing here? It's not school, right? We don't learn anything from it. So they give us the clues, and then they want us to do the research. It doesn't all come to you like that. They show you, okay, they give you the word Lyran. Now I have to go and I have to look up Lyran. What does that mean? And then when it resonates with you because you feel that aha or you feel tingles, that's your guides telling you this is the version I want you to write down.
Yeah. And we are running out of time, and so we won't be able to read anyone else. I know we had Nova and Harley. Harley, you've already been, it's been suggested that you get a hold of Sarah. So hopefully you have. If not, soon you will. Nova, email Sarah, and because she was saying that she was feeling a different person today in a positive manner. Now, I don't know if you wanted a reading, but I put you down. So if you need anything more, please get a hold of Sarah. I will be putting the information she gave me earlier about Brad Steicher, and also Evil. She talked about episodes of Evil. She didn't on the show, but I will put that information in the description later. so that you guys can see that and what she was talking about. And I will put a paragraph with that about our conversation about evil. And I think that was all that we've got on that I wrote down. The Gods of Aquarius. Yes, I think I'm going to grab that book and see what that's all about.
Urban, me to mention too that the show Alien, it's a miniseries too, really is pretty accurate about what they're showing some of the aliens. And at the last season, um, it actually shows a blue avian, and it's very accurate, and it's showing that being like in 3D form walking around. So it's very interesting.
Yeah. So we'll be adding that to the description as well, so you can refer to it. Her information to get a hold of her is on that. She will be adding a website later on, and as soon as that is added, I will add it to the description, and you guys can contact her through that as well. But this is connecting with new people that some of you haven't seen, even though you can see her on Friday. This is a little bit different. You get more information, and hopefully we'll have her on again. Oh, that's
Thank
so
you for
nice.
having me. This was awesome. Thank you.
And I'm so happy to have you on. I'm really glad, because this
Appreciate
is totally different energy. And like I said, this energy is fantastic today.
it. I feel energized. I was so sleepy when we started. I'm not a morning person. So you guys, thank you for sharing your enthusiasm and your energy. I love talking about this kind of stuff. So
Yeah. And Victor's been asking for star seeds, so he got his star seeds.
we
All
came
right.
in union.
Yeah. I don't want to go through all the stuff. Tonight, Angie will be on with Dawn, Sonoran Mystic Tarot, and A5 Says. Tomorrow will be Shauna Sellers, Naturally Divine Goddess Tarot, and Sonoran Mystic Tarot. I will be back on Friday with Scott and the Gabriel Projects, along with Gabriel Collective. And Saturday, Miss Susan, hopefully she'll feel well enough to be on. She did get through her surgery fine. She is in pain, but she's feeling much better. And just so you know, the hospital did a fantastic job for her and made it a beautiful experience. Now, I have not heard that about a hospital in ever, I think. And so I wanted you to let you guys know she came through great, as great as she could. Also, Sunday with Jess and Bonnie and Psychic Sunday at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And on 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time ish, because they have a tendency to be a little bit late. That should be Sherry Beery and Miss A5 Says on Sunday. All right. That's all for this time. Thank you guys so much. I
Thank you.
can't express it enough. Thank you. Have a great one.
Appreciate you.
And
Bye.
please share.